Welcome to the Veil Between Lives, a sanctuary where lived experience meets the great mystery. Here we hold soulful conversations with those who have touched the unseen and what lies beyond the physical world. We're honored you're here, stepping into this space with us. We're your hosts, Em and Susan. And today we have a very special guest with us, John Rusciano. John is a compassionate empath, author, and self-mastery mentor whose work is devoted to unlocking human potential through the integration of consciousness and embodied intelligence. Drawing from quantum physics, neuroplasticity, and heart-resonant intelligence, he explores how reality is shaped from the inside out. Through his teachings and healing work, John empowers others to remember their limitless, multidimensional nature as conscious co-creators within the architecture of existence. Welcome, John. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. I guess that was quite a mouthful there.
Yeah, no, it's all very relevant and just perfect for this audience. Yeah. I'd love if you maybe start off with the backstory and some of the important pivotal points that brought you to where you are today.
Sure, I'd love to. My story, I always say my life has had very high levels of strangeness in it to my friends. I just kind of laugh about it. But it started really early for me. And that was as a young boy, maybe 5, 6 years old. And I remember standing in my bedroom, literally having a conversation with myself. I was confused, very confused. And I was asking myself, what am I doing here? I thought there was a mix up, like someone dropped me off on the wrong planet. And I know this sounds humorous, but I really felt that way. I knew I was different, not different as in special or better. Maybe alien would be more appropriate. I felt alien to this planet. I didn't feel like I was from here. I was highly sensitive. I felt everything from everyone. I was able to see people's gifts, abilities, what was holding them back, the stories they were creating within their consciousness as this little boy. And I remember just asking myself, going within, why am I here? What am I doing here? And it was this very soft, quiet voice that said, you're here to help. I didn't know what that looked like. I wanted to help everyone. I had so much love for everyone. It's like, can't you see your potential? Can't you see your gifts? How come you can't see them? I can see them. And I wanted to bring that out of them. And so I found myself just gravitating towards people and helping and assisting even when I was little. Moving forward to high school, I would often just sit on the sidewalk in the parking lot. And I had a lot of girlfriends, not girlfriends as in partners, but they would just come out and talk to me about what was going on in their lives. And I just seemed to know the right things to say, but I didn't know where it was coming from. It's like, where's this information coming from? And so I just called it my inner wisdom. I didn't realize I was connecting with my higher self. And then around age 11, 12 years old, my grandfather was really ill. He was suffering from lung cancer. My parents thought it would be a good idea not to tell my younger brother and I just how sick he was. But while sleeping one evening, my grandfather came to me in a vision. It was so vivid. It was more vivid than this physical reality that I'm experiencing. This reality is what doesn't feel real if I were to compare them side by side. But my grandfather said 3 things to me. The first one, he wanted to express how much he loved me. The second thing he wanted to express, and he was extremely excited about it, My grandfather used to smile a lot. In this moment, I've never seen him smile like this before. He was so happy. He said, I'm going to be with loved ones on the other side. And then he said, not to worry. Don't you worry. We're going to be together again soon. And then he departed. After he departed, I continued on sleeping until my alarm clock went off and got up and went to school with my younger brother. But after returning home, we weren't home that long. And when the extended family became through the door and everyone was crying in that moment, I knew and I felt that my grandfather had passed. And so they were trying to figure out how to break that news to us, but I already knew. So my grandfather had literally come to me hours before his passing. And then in my 20s, I went through some challenging situations and I just kept reframing my reality, giving meaning that I wanted to give to my situations. And all of a sudden, everything I asked for just came into my life. It's as if somebody just rolled out a carpet for me. And these things that I wanted just showed up in my life. And I knew it was from what I was doing, but I didn't understand the physics. That came later on in life when teachers began to come into my life to answer those questions that I was asking. But with that passing of my grandfather, I started asking those questions. Why are we here? What's the meaning of life? What's our purpose? Where do we go when we die? And as I got a little older, as I was moving through some other challenging situations, and I choose to walk through them with unconditional love, even though it was challenging. Say, I'm going to take the high road. And I showed love in the face of not receiving it. And I kept choosing it. And then when I walked into a store one day, I saw these crystals that I had never seen before. And something made me gravitate over to this clear quartz. And when I picked it up, I started feeling pinpricks of energy in my hand. But it was so minute, it was so subtle that I was asking myself, am I really feeling what I think that I'm feeling? And within about 15 minutes or so, this field of energy began to envelop around me. I started feeling energy tactilely. When I would walk, we don't realize, I think, sometimes that we have this gait where our arms swing. And when one palm would be in the same position as the other palm through that gait of the swing, I would feel his energy shoot from one palm over to the other. I started seeing auras. I started seeing spirits all within the same day. And when I went to work the next day, it's as if the universe was having fun with me. Is it as if I had a neon sign in my head that said, if you're sick or ill, tell me about it. And it was so over the top that I couldn't ignore it because it was happening everywhere I went that day. And people were telling me they were sick. And I said, well, I could pray for you. And as I would pray for these people with my hand on their shoulder, this current, this electricity, it felt like a river of electricity flowing into these people's body. And they started healing. I saw miraculous healings. I saw healings, witnessed healings that took place that our doctors would call miracles. But I know that it comes from that space of unconditional love. This is really how things begin to unfold for me.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. It is beautiful. Then a little later in my life, after an accident, I was injured in an accident, had some spinal injuries as well. And there was some complications with medications that they had given me. It was a pretty big mistake with the doctors, with dosages of medication that they gave me, because they had moved me off of a generic medication I don't know what you would call it, just a regular medication, then it turned generic. And so when it turned generic, the milligrams of the medication was way off, which caused me to lose consciousness. So when my family came home, they found me unconscious, and I was taken to the hospital. But in that time, I had an out-of-body experience. In that out-of-body experience, I was given a choice whether I wanted to come back or not. I was able to see some of the fundamental mechanics of how reality works. One of those was with time. So time is very interesting because it doesn't really exist. everything that can exist, does exist, will ever exist right now in what I would call a dimensionless point and a timeless moment, which is referred to as here and now. And what we're deciding is how to create time within our consciousness to, in a sense, kind of piece these frames of reality in a particular order, like a film strip in a sense, and stretch that out in a manner that creates this illusion of time. And so I learned that we're so fluid and so powerful that we really can create any experience that our heart desires. It's simply learning how to come into alignment with it. But they
Yeah.
wouldn't allow me to. In other words, they said to me, you can go back if you wish. And the second part of your life is really what your soul is really wanting to experience. It's why you really decided to incarnate in the first place. But you fulfilled what you came here to do, what you promised to do. So I was given the choice, and they allowed me to see things, but they said, once we show you these things, we're not going to allow you to remember these things to take them back. I don't know why they didn't allow me to bring that back. And I may or may not have asked, but I know how my mind works because a lot of times I get into the logic, why and how come? So I find it odd that I wouldn't ask, but I was told that I would not be allowed to bring that information back. So obviously I liked what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And they did mention to me that when I came back, that I would not be doing this work alone, that I would be doing it with other soul family members and that I would meet them soon. And the other part is I could say that when I came back, though, there was some depression that I went through. It's hard to explain what it's like on the other side because we talk about love, but the love that is on the other side, there's no comparison here. You can think of the greatest love or the birth of a baby, right? And holding this beautiful baby in your arms. But the love on the other side doesn't even come close. There's just no words in our language to even convey how much every single soul is loved. It's not something that we earn. It's our birthright. It's who we are. And it was like finding your perfect place, knowing that where I was, I could feel all the love supporting me from everywhere around. It was just amazing from that standpoint. I didn't want to come back. So when I came back, that's where that depression came from. I was like, I want to feel that love like that again. And there was some guilt too, that I had about not wanting to come back for my family at the time. As I had mentioned to you off air, experience was not something I even shared with my family. Still to this day, I've never shared it. And it's not because I don't want to share it, but how do you express to your family that you love them, but at the same time tell them that you didn't want to come back and have them really truly understand that? I don't know how to really articulate that.
Curious, how did that experience alter how you see reality now? How did it change the way you walk in life now?
Well, for starters, I'm not afraid of dying anymore. As a child, I'm not sure where the fear of death came from.
Mhm.
I thought about it a lot. I was afraid of dying. Dying is easy. The best way I can explain it is like a dream. So you can go to bed at night, you can have a happy dream, you may have a nightmare, and then you wake up and you say, oh, that was just a dream. Dying is like waking up from a dream, but you're expanding into more of who you are. And I realized that we don't go anywhere when the physical body dies. We're still within the field of consciousness, but we're not. How do I say this? It's when we're in the body, it's like being compressed or like being put into a trash compactor. And then all of a sudden somebody comes like the genie in the bottle and pops the cork and you're out and you say, whoa, I didn't realize I was so much bigger than this. You also have access to all your soul's wisdom that it's gleaned across the many lifetimes that it's experienced and is experiencing.
I'm a little curious. It sounds like you had a connection when you were in the crystal store and you were touching the crystals and you had this experience of connectedness with all things. How did your out of body experience? Did it intensify the work that you were doing? Did it open up kind of some deeper gifts or connectedness?
It absolutely did. For
Yeah.
one thing, it made me realize that the only limitations that we have are the ones that we put upon ourselves. And I started having more experiences. This is when a lot of the ET contact for me started. I had a lot of ET contact as well that was a result of what happened as well. And I also became more sensitive
Mm.
to feeling energy. It really opened up a lot of these soul sensory modalities. I've had more instances of telepathic communication at times. It's not something that happens all the time. I've also started having experiences receiving messages before they've been sent. So, for instance, I was in a program working with children that are gifted, understanding why they incarnated into this life, why they chose the parents that they chose, and helping the parents to work with their children and support their gifts. I was asked to be a guest and if I'd be willing to teach a module on star children. And so I agreed to. And the person conducting the course said that they would be sending me a follow-up email to go over the details and looking for more information, exactly what I would teach in my module. He said there was no hurry. Just when you get a chance, just respond to it and send it back to me. A few days went by. I received the email. I was in a couple projects at the moment, so I didn't have time to respond to it. So I flagged it. I did read it. And I said, I'll respond to this in a couple days. When I went to go back to respond to the email, it was missing. I was like, oh boy, where did it go? And I was a little embarrassed. So I reached out and I told them, I can't find your email. And they said, well, the reason you can't find it is because I didn't send it yet.
Wow.
2 days later, the same thing happened with somebody that was communicating with me in Facebook. It was Facebook Messenger. They sent me a message. I replied to their message, stepped into the shower. As I stepped out of the shower, I saw the banner go by from the individual. So when I'm done getting ready, I will respond to them. When I went to go respond to the message, not only was the message not there, but it clearly showed that they had not even received the message that I previously sent to them. And so I started asking, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I was moving through different timelines and different parallel realities that were
Wow.
showing me that reality is just very fluid. These are just a couple things. Also picking up on communication from other people. And then within a very short period of time, they either email or call me. So these things just started to happen more and more and more and more as a result of that experience I had when I was out of body. Life just started getting a little strange, or a lot strange.
I'm curious how you stay grounded in all of this wonder that's happening around you because not everybody's having these experiences. I think more and more people are, but do you have any personal practices that you use to keep yourself grounded?
I do a lot of meditation.
Yeah.
I've been meditating probably about 20, almost 27 years now. But I think what really helps that I found, especially with meditation, a lot of people that I've been around, they always want to go up. I want to go up. I want to go out. But for me personally, I found that if you can ground yourself into the planet, that you can actually hold more information. And when you hold the more information, it also brings clarity to mind because you're holding more light, you're holding more information, you have access to more, you start seeing answers to things. Like you might look at something like previously and say, well, that's a problem. But when you expand your container open, all of a sudden the answer's there that's been there all along, but you couldn't see it. So I have practices where I'll just picture the light coming in from source. I just connect directly to source energy, to my divine origin point, and I see that pure frequency moving down through my body, down into the earth, into the mycelium network, through the tree networks, through the underground aquifers, through the crystalline kingdom, into the very heart of Mother Earth, into Gaia, into the heart. And then I just allow that oneness, that beautiful golden energy from the earth, then just to move back up into my heart center and merge with the light from above, and then just stay in that centered place. What my guides have shared, it's our soul actually is connecting through our heart center, through the back of our heart. So if we can center into the heart and just move into the breath, it's moving into like this neutral state. And from that neutral state, then we can choose from that point where we want to go. It's like leveling the playing field. It's very peaceful. We're so powerful. I mean, I know I said that, but that's probably one of the greatest gifts, is just understanding how much power we have.
Yeah.
And we don't have to really do much. I was taught to do. My father always taught you got to do, you got to work hard, you got to do these things. And I found out that all beliefs are experientially true. So if you actually believe that you have to work hard, you're going to have to work hard. But what I've also learned is it's not about working hard, it's about allowing. And that's one of the things that's been very powerful for me too, because everything is changing every moment. You can't stop it. Change is the only constant in creation. All we need to do is to allow the change to move through us. Be open, allow, be with the experience that's happening, see that it's there to serve us in a positive way, and life just will begin to flow.
And it sounds like your work is much like that.
It is. It is. We've all been fed a diet of beliefs that are out of alignment with who we truly are. So who are we truly? That's the question I've always asked. Who are we really?
Yeah.
If you were to look, we're spirit, non-physical energy. So if you were to look at that spirit energy, non-physical, and you were trying to explain it, we would say that it's that feeling of excitement, passion, joy, unconditional love, freedom. And so that's all we need to do is align with that. But these beliefs that make us feel bad, what that's saying is we have an idea or a belief about ourselves. That's not true. Energy is energy. What makes it feel different is the belief system that it's flowing through. So my work is really about why are we choosing what we're choosing and choose something different. And that's what I do is I help people to understand why they're choosing. What are they focusing on? Why are they focusing on what they're focusing on? What are their whys of what it is that they want to create? Just for an experiment, I did this when I was writing my book. I literally took a clipboard and a piece of paper, and I went down to the beach on a beautiful summer day, and I just started interviewing people randomly, ask if they had a few minutes, just ask them some questions. I asked questions about their life, whether they were happy, whether they had jobs that they liked. I was surprised how many people were working jobs that they didn't like. And I said, if you could just have one thing right now, and I was just able to give you whatever you wanted, what would you want? And almost every single person said they want to win the lottery. So my next question is why do you want to win the lottery? Because I don't want to work. So, okay. But even if you didn't work, after a while, that would get really old. You would still want to express in some way, some shape, some fashion in the world. And what would you be passionate about? And a lot of these people said, I don't even know what I'm passionate about. I don't even know what I like. And I was shocked by that. And so with a little more coaxing, I started drawing things out of them. Oh, I used to draw. I love to paint. I always wanted to, teach fitness. There was all these dreams, but they weren't expressed. And so that's what I help people do is really connect into their desires, things that make them tick, things that make them happy, ask the right questions, and then help them align their energy and frequency, so that those frames of reality start showing up for them. And then it's just about taking small action, not forceful action. Think of it, let's just say you were wanting to write a book, and your passion is writing the book, and you started writing the book. You go to Starbucks in the morning to get your coffee. You're standing in line, and lo and behold, there's two people standing directly behind you, and the person's talking about a book that they just wrote, and they're looking for a publisher, and the person that they're talking to is a publisher. And so you find yourself in the right place at the right time. That publisher may not be the publisher for you, but that publisher might be able to put you in contact. You know what? I don't publish that genre, but I have a friend that's very interested in that kind of work. Here's their number, give them a call. So yeah, there's a little action, but that it showed up in your life. The synchronicity showed up in your life. So the action's really about following the synchronicities. Once you start paving your intentions and you start putting that energy out there, then the synchronicities will show up. And then the action is just to follow through without an expectation that it has to be a certain way. You're just only following it because it's aligned with your joy or your passion, what it is that you wishing to do or how you wish to express as a soul. But each person is different. So I approach each person differently and meet that person where they are, but it's about uncovering these things in a way that works for them.
I'm curious also when you're working with somebody and you're kind of drawing them out and you're asking them these key questions, right? Are you also seeing the energy that's flowing within them and around them? Are you seeing the energy that you can move and work with and the places that they're stuck? Are you aware of that in their energy field? Is it something that you see, or is it more something you feel or intuit?
I'm a feeler, so
Okay.
I definitely feel that, especially if I purposely tune into them. I can feel where it's being held in the body. Sometimes I may not necessarily get what that information is, but I can actually see that there's something that they're holding, some kind of emotion that's not processed. I am able to help clients release that kind of energy in sessions that sometimes will be complementary to the coaching if necessary. Oftentimes, I find that once a client is able to identify what it is and just sit with the energy and feel it, we've been taught that we have to re-experience it. It's not so much about re-experiencing it. It's about allowing the energy to move through you. I can think of times in my own life, oh, I don't want to deal with that, right? So what do? We shove it down. We don't want to feel it. So it's about learning to be able to feel something, to sit with something, but not be insistent that we go into the story. It's not about the story. It's about allowing that energy to have its day and allow that energy to move out. It just wants to feel it's had its day to feel expressed, and it will go. And oftentimes, without even trying, as you sit with that energy, clarity will actually come and you'll know what that energy was that you were holding. I kind of think of it as like a situation you pull into the gas station in your car. You've been in need of a car wash, but you've been busy, haven't gone to the car wash. So you pull out the squeegee, you squeegee your window off, and you get in the car and you're like, oh my, I could really see. I didn't realize my window was so
Yeah.
so so muddy or so so much film on it that I couldn't see. But when you wash that film away, there's so much more clarity. That's what often happens with people when they sit with their emotions. They let them process through. It's like taking that squeegee and running it across your consciousness and opening up the window, and you could just see with so much clarity.
Sense.
Do you feel like what you're doing is channeling a healing? Are you holding space? Are you doing both simultaneously? Does it feel almost like you're in shamanic terms a hollow bone where you're just allowing these things to move through you, just kind of providing that for the person?
Absolutely. It is. It's definitely exactly the way you explained. When I'm with someone, working with someone, I am channeling information. I will know what I need to know about that person. I pick it up a lot in the vibration of the person's voice as they're communicating with me. A lot is said in the vibration of the voice, and I can really tune in, understanding where that individual's challenges are coming from, and then bring clarity around it. We're all doing it all the time, all of us. We've been taught to discount it, and I can just mention just a few simple examples. You might be at a location, a park or outside location, and you sit down on a bench, and there's somebody sitting on the bench, and they're really angry, but they haven't spoken a word. But you sit down next to them, and you all of a sudden you say, "Oh, I don't feel so good. This person's angry." But how do you know they're angry? You're feeling it in their vibration. But as children, we've been taught that's just your imagination. You need to grow up. So it's dropping back into the imagination.
Yeah.
How many times have you been somewhere and you feel somebody staring at you and you can feel it? And all of a sudden you turn around and you look and you catch somebody staring at you and they're embarrassed. It's like, oh, I just been busted staring at you. But you picked up on it. So we're receiving all this information all the time. The Heart Math Institute has done many, many beautiful studies on this, on heart coherence. Where in one case they took a little boy's dog and they hooked the dog up so they can see what's going on with the brain activity, the heart activity. And then they did the same thing for the boy. They had him in different rooms and they were looking at the heart rhythms and they can see that they were both in a different rhythm. But what happened is when the little boy walked into the room, the boy saw the dog saw the boy. Their hearts came into perfect rhythm with each other. The peaks were with the peaks, the troughs. There was this coherent synchronicity, heart to heart, because in truth, it's our hearts that are communicating. So if we can just be present, we all have this ability to do this. It's not like some magical power that I have that, somebody else doesn't have. It's just learning to train it like a muscle, to listen to it, to pay attention to it. But yeah, the channeling is a big part of that. And I always set the intention for the client, for their highest good and their highest purpose, that I would be just an instrument for them to be able to help them with that information that will help align them to their true path of why they came here, what they came to experience. I always look at it, I like the word win-win, the phrase win-win. I find that when we set out for win-win in anything we do, things always manifest way better than you would imagine for yourself. Always win-win.
I frequently find that if I leave things general, the outcome is far better than what than what I could come up with. Because of that limitation, when we construct these wishes in our brains, I want this and I want it this way and I want it by this time and I want it to look just so. Often we don't get what we want. If we leave the request open and we just ask for the highest good and we ask for things in love, it always seems to come out so beautifully.
I love that, Em. I love that. It's so true. It's okay. I mean, our mind is, I look at it as like the laboratory or the quarry where we mine materials in a sense to construct our reality. So we can envision. The part is, I would say, is drop the insistence of how we're wanting or what we're wanting to bring into our life, how that needs to happen.
Yeah.
We had talked about this off air. A good example of this was a woman we were working with she was a Spanish teacher, and she was contracted to the San Diego Unified School District. They weren't paying her benefits. She was living with her daughter, and she felt in her heart that it was not right for her. She felt undervalued. That was the big thing, undervalued. She felt like she was worth more than what they were giving her. she said to me in good conscience, I can't do this because I don't feel like I'm honoring myself and I need to give my notice and quit. Now, everyone thought she was crazy because she didn't have another job lined up. She said, I want my own house. I shouldn't have to live with my daughter. I have all these degrees, but I can't make enough money to support myself. So we explored the kind of house that she wanted to live in, and she was very specific. And we got to the whys. I want my own freedom. I want to experience freedom. I want to have an experience where I could be in my own space, feel my own energy. I would love a space where I have these beautiful French doors that open up to a garden in the back where I could play in the soil and plant flowers or vegetables, whatever I want. I want to play in the dirt. I want to get my hands dirty. And while I'm doing that, I want to be able to look out at this beautiful lake. So she honored herself and went into work, gave her notice. And within about a week, her phone rang. And it was a friend on the other line that hadn't spoken to her in a long time and said, the strangest thing happened. This is going to sound crazy to you, but you were in my dreams. You showed up in my dreams. And my husband had received a job offer to work out of state, and we're going to have to move. And we were thinking about what to do with our house, and we don't want to rent it because, it's been our pride and joy, and we've put so much work and love into it. And just by off chance, we were wondering if you'd be willing to move here and move into our house and stay here for at least a year, and we'll pay you. We'll pay you to live here. And what makes it even more beautiful is it had beautiful French doors that opened up into a garden and was on the lake. It was a lake home.
Wow.
Now, she could have said, I want my own house. It's going to cost this amount of money. I don't have it. How in the heck is that going to happen?
Yeah.
She didn't worry about the house. That's not our job. And so she was able to get out of the way. She was able to envision it. She was able to see herself living in it, feeling as if it was already done, let it go. And through these circumstances, she got her house.
Beautiful.
And it's not the only one. I have other stories just like it, very similar.
And probably some of your own.
My greatest moments, matter of fact, even in my spiritual awakening experience, when I touched the crystals, I had this idea of what my life was supposed to look like, the direction it was supposed to go in. And I could be pretty stubborn when it comes to accomplishing what it is that I set out to. I don't remember what it is that I was actually trying to do, but every time I would take an action or move in the direction of my goal, an obstacle would be laid down in front of me. So what would I do? I go around it. No problem. Just go around. So I go around it and another one would drop.
Yeah.
I go around it and another one would drop. And this kept happening. I can't even tell you how many times it happened. It was too numerous until I reached my limit, that internal limit for me, that threshold. And in that moment, quite literally, I threw my hands up in the air and probably yelled out, I give up. I give up. Okay, I give up. I'm done. And my prayer, I didn't even know who I was praying to, said, do with me as you wish and let my life be used to the highest service of all. That was my internal prayer. And then the next thing that followed was the story with the crystal becoming activated, helping people heal.
Yeah.
It opened up so many doors, one after another, after another, after another. I didn't even know what metaphysics was. It changed my life 180 degrees, put me on a whole different path. There would have been no way for me to imagine it because I didn't know anything about it. So how could I imagine it? It was when I gave up. Another instance was when I kept finding myself unemployed. I would get a job and they'd lay everyone off. I go get another job, they'd lay everyone off. And I just remember just being in a tight financial situation, my early years. And it's like, what is it with these jobs? I needed a job. And of course, all the resumes I sent out, no calls are coming back. But the one that finally did come back was the least of those jobs that I really wanted to take. But I had to take something. I mean, the bills are coming. I got to pay them. And so I took the job. And back in those days, it was the answer machines. Remember, we'd have the code and you'd call in your answer machine. It's like, you have 6 new messages. So I took that job and I went back to work. I was relieved. I was like, oh man, I got a job. I could still keep looking. But then when I went home, I checked my machine. I had several messages on the machine with new job offers, but I hadn't had them for months. So why all the messages now? Why? Because I let go.
Yep.
I literally let go.
Yeah.
There wasn't this holding, I got to get the job. I got to get the job, which is saying that I don't have the job, which keeps the job always out, not having the job. So it's all these little things that we do that we don't realize that we're doing. And it's just finding these patterns and letting them go.
Yeah. For myself, I've found that it's a shift in energy when I feel like I want something, really want something, that job being the perfect example. I've got to have a job. My bills aren't being paid. And it starts to shift that energy, create a little anxiety. Even if we're meditating all day, it's still in the back of our mind, in our subconscious, the lack. And when that starts creeping in, opportunities, start to fall in the background, is what I've found for myself. And when I can just breathe and truly, honestly give it up, 2 things happen. One, the anxiety dissipates, the energy shifts and changes. And secondly, I just don't care as much. I mean, because I know it's happened so much in my life at this point that I know the next thing that shows up is going to be the right thing. It's going to reveal itself.
That's beautiful, Em. I know that's not what you really mean when you say that you don't care. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You care, but you don't care. In other words, I hear you saying, I release all the outcomes, and whatever happens, happens. Because I know that what's going to come to me is going to be way better than I'm imagining for myself, because my higher self has the higher vantage point, and it's going to bring me something even better. We're saying we're letting go of that insistence. It's got to happen this way. Otherwise I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like letting go of the control part, right?
Right.
Trying to control the outcome. Right.
The funny thing is we've never been in control.
I know.
And that's the paradox. That is a paradox. When we let go of control, then we're actually in control. Another way of saying that is when we allow the physical part to let go of the control, then our higher self can lead us, because it knows why we're here. It knows what we're here to experience. It knows the connections and who we need to be with, where and when and how. And so when we just let go of the control and turn it over to the higher self aspect of our consciousness, and then just follow the guidance, follow the intuition. Oh, I feel like I should turn left here. I always turn right, but I don't know. I just feel like I turned left today. You turn left and find out that there was a bad accident, and you just saved yourself an hour worth of time because the traffic was stopped, while they were clearing the accident. Or any other thing that your higher self wants to bring, but it'll just make your life flow much easier when we can just let go of trying to figure out how to make something happen, how to push something or force something into being. I like the saying that actually the saying is, the greatest power requires the lightest touch. Forcing, pushing, efforting comes from the feeling of lack of power.
Curious also about how frequency and vibration plays a role in all of this.
That is a wonderful question, because it's everything. It's the secret sauce, because it comes back to everything is now. Everything is existing now. And think of your body as a vibrational tuner, in your beliefs, your feelings and emotions, and your actions, or the oscillators, just like the old radios we had in our car. where you'd have to spin the dial to tune the frequency. It wasn't digital. You'd have to turn it by hand as an oscillator. So think of your body as this oscillator, this tuner with a dial on it. And it's those beliefs and your emotions, those thoughts and your actions that are resonating at a frequency like a tuner, and you're tuning yourself into the field. What do I match? Like a TV, you have all the channels, or the radio station, you have all these transmissions all going on at the same time, all in the same space, but you can only perceive that you're the frequency of, that you're the vibration of. And so it's about learning to tune your own frequency purposely.
Yes.
Purposely tune it. What emotional state do I choose? Example would be happiness. This is a common one. I did this for many years until one day I had an epiphany. Still remember exactly where I was. I was in my work van driving down the highway, and I was going through some very challenging situations, and I was feeling miserable. And I just said to myself, you know what? I choose to be happy. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I choose to be happy. I don't care what's going on in my life. I don't need a reason. And those around me, it's like, have you lost your mind? With all the stuff you got going on in your life, how can you be happy? And I realized, I literally heard in my head, it's a choice. And I had this program, I'll be happy when I get the new job. I'll be happy when I get my new house. I'll be happy when I get my new water ski. I'll be happy when fill in the blank. And so a lot of times we make our state of being conditional based on circumstances. So one way is choose your state of being. I choose to be happy, and then act as if it's true. Then you tune yourself into that frequency. You tune yourself into that vibration, because you're not pretending, you're owning it. And when you own something, reality is just a mirror. It's only reflecting what's going on within us. And so reality has to reflect back to us what we own. And so it's learning to be conscious creators instead of unconscious creators, running default programs that have been programmed into us, one before we were born, and also from our parents, those that were instrumental in our lives when we were little. I know that you know this, Susan, being a hypnotherapist, that the mind, the left brain doesn't really develop until we're around 6, 7 years old. The left brain is our logical brain. The right brain is our spiritual gifts, our intuitive gifts, creativity. And it's designed that way for a reason. Because when we're this newborn and we come into this life, we have to learn. And so that left brain's not interfering with the programs. We're just believing all the information that was being fed into us. We accept it all as truth. We swallow it all. We take it all in. So a lot of the beliefs that we're holding don't even belong to us. They've been given to us. And it's about just tuning that frequency, tuning back into what feels good, letting go of what doesn't feel good.
Thank you. What a beautiful answer.
That is beautiful.
Thank you. I just have to say, we truly are magnificent beings. One of the biggest things I hear in the coaching work, even with people that are really successful, it's interesting that we all, from my experience, have parts of us that feel not loved, or maybe not good enough. Things should be better, not deserving. But the bottom line is, we deserving just because we exist. It's not something we earn. It's something that we are.
Absolutely.
Something I learned when I had the out-of-body experience. You're perfect. It wouldn't even matter what you did in this life. There's nothing you can do that can ever make you undeserving. Nothing. I get emotional just talking about it. Because a lot of people feel like I'm not worthy, or maybe I need a course, or maybe I need this, or maybe I need that. But I just would say that you're perfect the way you are, but that doesn't mean that you can't move into a different kind of perfect in the next moment, because we're always changing. But just know that you're perfect for the version of yourself that you are right here. It's just an experience that you're having. My guides say, have fun with it. Play. They tell me that all the time. Play, play, play. Play, have fun. Don't be so serious. ease up on yourself, be gentle with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see how people beat up on themselves so much and take things so seriously. And there's a time for serious, right? But I feel like remembering that although you can be serious and take care of business the way it needs to be taken care of, to release, again, here we come back to releasing the outcome, but we're doing our best. Always remembering we're doing our best. Whatever it is, just give it our best and don't be so hard on ourselves.
I would agree. It really is just about having fun.
Mhm.
I know if somebody's hearing that for the first time, they might, well, I have a job to do. I have bills to pay. I have this to do. And I understand that.
Yeah.
But if we can just bring more fun into what we're doing, even if we're working a job that maybe is not your favorite, find the things that you do appreciate it
Mhm.
about it.
Yeah.
It is paying your bills right now. I'm really thankful to have this job because it's paying my bills right now. And I know something better is coming to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But use what's in front of you
Mm.
to give positive meaning to everything. And life will simply just start unfolding and
Mhm.
getting softer and softer. That's the thing too. The more you play, that was one of the things that I experienced when I was creating my own reality. I started giving really wild definitions to things, wild meaning into things. And I would say to myself, I am this person that I would create. And then I would act as if I was that person and I was having fun with it. And then what started happening is when stuff started coming into my life, it started coming to me in a playful, fun, lighthearted way where reality almost didn't look real.
Mm.
The
Yeah.
only way I can compare it is if you've ever gone to Disneyland and you were on their Haunted Mansion ride and the
Yeah.
pirates are chasing the ladies around, but it's a holographic image that's being projected. So you could tell that, yeah, that's a pirate and bipedal, but you could tell that it's not real because the
Mhm.
hologram's not that great. It's not rendered in super high definition. That's the way reality started getting for me.
Yep.
It almost looked like it wasn't real. It started becoming soft. It started becoming malleable. Even got to a point where I started having experiences of seeing full blown light bodies
Mm.
when I would look at a person. It wasn't anything like I thought. It originally happened when I was taking a class that was being taught by a Native American shaman woman. There was several people in the class, and I was just new to even what chakras were. And she was answering a question to a student that was on the other side of the classroom. So the way she was positioned, her left shoulder was pointed towards me, and I can see her front side as well as her back side from her position. And without any kind of notice, it just opened up. Her light field opened up. Her clothes, her skin, everything. The flesh disappeared. She was just
Yeah.
pure light.
Wow.
But it wasn't anything like what I was being taught about the chakras being these energy centers, spinning centers. It's not what it looked like to me. She looked like a very sophisticated lava lamp. And it was, yeah, it was like these colors were
Wow.
just ebbing and flowing and merging and
Mm.
expanding. The really fun part too is that the colors on her front side were different than the colors on the back side.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it wasn't through and through the same color. And she was very passionate about what she was talking about. And as she became more passionate, the colors became brighter,
Mm.
really bright. And they
Wow.
extended out even further. And then when she settled back in, they moved a little closer into the body. They dulled down a little bit, but I don't even like to use the word dull because the colors were so vibrant. The colors
Mm.
in our reality are dull in comparison
Right.
to your light body. The reason I bring this up is just how magnificent that you really truly are. If you were able to see how beautiful you are in that light form, it's awe inspiring. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
truly beautiful. And that's what we are. We're these beautiful light beings having a physical experience. We are so beautiful.
I couldn't agree more.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Beautiful. For people that are starting to have a shift in consciousness or an awakening and starting to have some of these more mystical experiences or synchronicities or signs showing up in their life, what advice would you give people that are going through this transition? What kind of wisdom can you share about how to embrace and open up more fully to these experiences?
Trust yourself first and foremost. Know that there are no accidents, none, no accidents. So anything that's happening in your life that's there, know that it's there to serve you in a positive way. And that may be hard if we're struggling. So what I would say to someone, let's say that they are having a struggle, to just first and foremost, accept it. The reason why I say accept it, because we cannot change what we don't own. So accept that we are having the experience. It doesn't mean that it has to stay there, because when we accept it and then we take a look at it, what is this teaching me? What am I learning from this? I'll give you just an example that might help somebody to easily understand this. I've seen this a lot. Two individuals in a relationship. The relationship didn't go well. One person said it was the worst relationship they ever had, that nothing good ever came out of it. So I said, well, certainly something good must have come out of it. No, there was nothing. But there always is a positive in everything. We just have to look for it. The positive in this case would be clearly you understand what you don't prefer. This situation helped identify what you don't want in a relationship, which helped bring clarity to you, much more clarity of what you do prefer. I prefer these qualities in my partner, someone that listens to me, someone that's non-judgmental, someone that opens doors for me, for instance, or whatever it may be. So we can look at that situation and say, you know what, I'm really thankful for that situation because it really helped clarify for me what I do prefer. I deserve that. So now you just gave a positive meaning to something that looked like it was negative. And it's the physics of energy. What we put out is what we get back. Positive out, positive back. Negative out, negative back.
Yep.
Yeah.
No built-in meaning to anything. We give everything meaning. So just know that whatever's in your experience that is there serving you, allow your heart to be open. I would always say to anyone that ever asked me this, never deny love for yourself, for anyone, for any reason, or anything.
Yeah.
The question, why? Why would we not do that? Because our heart is our gateway. The heart operates outside of duality. The mind operates in duality, the heart does not. So when we can drop into the heart, open up the frequency of love in our heart, we're tuning to our true resonance, to our true core signature vibration. When we drop into the heart, then we can connect into the field, what some people call the void or 0 point, infinite potential, many different names. But simply put, when we connect into the heart, into the love, we can connect into the field and simply choose again, what do I prefer in my life from that center point? So being in that love helps open your internal portal to all that is, to the infinite. Never deny love for yourself. Everything that I've learned in my life, I could sit and talk about the physics and how reality works in creation. But if somebody just simply asks me, what is the key to living the best life? Love. Love is the greatest, it's the greatest gift.
Yeah.
If you could just simply love yourself and love others as thyself, drop judgments and see others as whole, regardless of the circumstances they're going through, realize that they may not be acting in integrity in some cases, but just know that they're divine and sovereign as well. They're on their own mission, and just come from that place of neutrality and just see everything as one thing expressing as many, right?
Yeah.
We want to have our own experience. We don't want somebody telling us how we should live our life.
Right.
And it's about honoring that too with other people, even though that it may not align with us. Doesn't mean we have to hang out with them, but we can simply honor their mission. And so these are just some of the things. And just come back to center. Come back to center. If you feel like you're out there and your mind's going a million miles an hour, just take a few breaths, drop into your heart, and just feel that centeredness in the heart. Just allow yourself to maybe even feel your own breath or hear your own breath in the silence. And just come in and you'll feel that spaciousness, and you'll feel that reset. And you just reset yourself and then choose again. I choose this. I choose this. I choose this. But just choose what feels good.
Well said.
Thank you. It can be that simple. It is about learning a lot of these things that we've learned
Yes.
and relearn, just to allow things to be simple to allow, because it's changing all the time anyway. You can't stop change. Change is the only constant in the universe. So you're changing moment to moment to moment to moment to moment to moment. You're a different person because you're
Absolutely.
not moving through reality. Reality's moving through you.
That's right.
It's moving through you. So you don't have to chase it. It's coming to you. So think about that for a minute. Reality is moving through you. It's coming to you. And you're the station that's tuning. You're the antenna that's tuning. The tuning is just what you're believing is true about yourself.
I often try and remind my children that life is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Remember
Yes.
that. We have choices all along the way.
Yes. This is why, Abraham Hicks, I love Abraham
Too.
and the art of allowing. Allow. When you ask, it's already given. It's true. Even Yeshua ben Joseph in his teachings, what do you always say? Whatever you ask for, know that it's already given to you.
Yes.
Know that it's been given, and more will come unto you.
Yeah.
He didn't say to go to the altar and beg and plead and please give this to me. He said, ask and know that it's already done.
Yeah.
It really is that simple, but we have these beliefs. Oh, if what is it? No pain, no gain.
Right.
All these different crazy sayings that we have.
Constantly reinforced around us.
Yeah.
Programs happen during early childhood and they're constantly reinforced until we have a moment where we're like, that's not what I'm not going to subscribe to that anymore.
Yeah. Yep.
It's too simple. It must not be true.
Yeah.
It's got to be a catch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, John, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us.
You're very welcome. I'm really happy to been able to be here with you both today. I just hope that whoever hears this, that will be exactly what they need. And we're in this together. And the more people that raise their frequency, the easier it is for those that are struggling to find the frequency.
That's right.
Because we're this collective field. It is beautiful. We're doing this together. Every single one of us is important. We're all playing our role, our piece. There's no one that's better than anyone else.
Yeah.
We're all needed. All of us, every one of us.
Absolutely. Yeah. So is there anything that you'd like to let our listeners know? How will they get a hold of you?
If they want to reach out to me directly, they can reach out through my email, which is john@frequencymastersnetwork.com.
Wonderful.
Also, my site that's just now going live, new network, is the frequencymastersnetwork.com.
Yeah. Love it.
Lovely. Well, thank you for stepping into this space with us. We've thoroughly enjoyed having you on our show. And until we gather again, stay curious, stay grounded, and honor what you know beyond words.
Thank you both.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
My unconditional love to you, and also those that are listening to this at their own timing.
Beautiful. Thank you.